Bree, I went ahead and planned out our trip to stay at an inclusive resort nearby, so both you and my son can stop worrying about where to go now.
What?
Every year, we make sure to plan a trip out to take my grandkids and everyone somewhere, right? And this year, we will all be going to this resort that I was recommended to, and it's all inclusive and has a water park. I made the reservations for the last weekend in July, so please be ready to go by that time. This place is pretty expensive, and it rarely ever has any rooms open for reservation in the summer, so I think you all are really going to enjoy this trip.
Holly? Normally, we always decide where to go for summer vacation based off where the kids want to go. So you going and reserving a place for everyone without asking my husband or I... That wasn't very smart of you.
Excuse me? Are you trying to say that you don't like what I've done by planning this trip to that resort out for us?
I'm not trying to be rude about it or anything. It's just, this year my husband and I had something else in mind for summer vacation.
You had other plans in mind? Then you go ahead and change those plans so that they match up with this resort vacation I've made.
What? Well, about that...
I went ahead and got us all a reservation at a very famous resort that is otherwise fully booked for the summer. I was lucky enough to look at the website just at the right time when someone else had canceled their reservation. And so there is no way I'll be able to change my plans on my end. So you figure things out on your end and do not ruin this for me. Now, go ahead and tell Patrick and my grandkids about the new plan that have been made, please.
Patrick, sorry for texting you while you're busy with work, but do you have a second to talk with me?
Hey, Bree. What's going on?
Your mom. She went ahead and reserved us a trip at the resort without even asking any of us first.
Huh?
She told me that she got the reservation for a really expensive resort during the last weekend in July, and had been lucky enough to get the days that someone else ended up canceling. And now she's told me that we have to be available for that trip and can't have any other plans.
Wait. Are you serious? Now she's gone ahead and thrown a wrench on our plans.
I didn't know how to tell her that she made a huge mistake, so I just said that you and I had other things in mind for summer break.
Unfortunately, my mom isn't that smart of a person to understand what you were saying.
She told me to change all of her plans around then, and make the resort vacation our top priority.
I see. I'd always been wanting to tell her to stop coming along with us and the kids on our summer trips, but now she's gone ahead and jumped the gun. I thought we were finally going to be able to avoid her by setting up our own plans during a different time period, but...
Well, what should we do now? We had plans around that last weekend in July, yet now her plans have gotten us in the way.
I know. Let me have a word with my uncle about this first.
Good idea. I think you should be the first person she should talk with.
And just to be safe, I'm going to let the kids know that no matter what they hear from their grandma about her plans, they are to only stick to what we have planned.
I'll let them know that as well. We need to make sure there isn't any more confusion here. Holly, good morning. We are going to be leaving our house right now. We will be at the station in about 10 minutes or so, and then once we've picked you up, we will get on the interstate and head south.
All right, good. I'm already at the station and have been waiting. By the way, who is the one driving?
I'm driving.
I see. Then please make your way over here as fast as you possibly can.
Patrick, how's your mom doing? I just came out of the rest stop with some snacks and drinks for everyone. And I thought that you guys would be back from the restrooms by now.
About her? She's been talking my ear off over here about how we should have taken the bus instead of having you drive. And she's complaining about how she thinks your driving is too dangerous and that it's going to get us all killed.
But she was the one that asked us to drive all the way out in one day. If she didn't like the idea of us driving this long and having me be the driver, then she should have planned things out a bit more.
She's also been going on about how you're my wife, yet you don't seem to be very thoughtful of anyone.
I'm sure that's because I'm not listening to her right now, because I'm focused on the plans we have made.
She's been so dang annoying that I just walked away from her and I'm going to join the kids over at the playground.
Well, I'm going to grab one more drink from the inside, and then I'll be ready to go again.
Bree, you no longer have to come back to the car now. What? Once my son and the grandkids are at the back of the car, we are going to be heading out and on our way to the resort.
But that would mean you'd leave me behind here.
That reservation I made at the resort we're going to is only meant for 4 people.
What? But there is 5 of us here together, right?
Oh, Jesus. You really aren't that great at taking any hints, are you? I'm saying that I never reserved a room for you at the resort. You are just our driver, and that's all you are. But we are going to be using this car to make it to the rest of the way, and to drive around the area, so you will have to walk all the way back home.
Walk all the way back home? You do realize that we are on the side of the interstate, in the middle of nowhere pretty much, and it would be close to 170 miles before I make it back to my house.
Well then, you'd better figure something out by yourself now.
Then what about the car and who will be driving it? Holly, the last time I heard, you had your driver's license taken away from you, right? Which means you can't drive now.
But I still have Patrick here with me. Well, since you're aware of the new plan right now, you can take your things and head home.
What? All right then. Patrick, have you made it back to the car yet?
Not yet, actually. I'm still hanging around the playground with the kids. They've both been having a blast playing here, so I've taken a seat on one of the benches and I'm eating my sandwich. I also got myself a Coke, so I'm drinking that with it.
Then we're going to have to talk about a change of plans that have occurred. I'll come over to you right now and we can figure things out.
What? What's happened?
I just got a text from your mom telling me all some pretty crazy things. She told me that she only made reservations for 4 people at that resort.
Huh? But there are 5 of us heading there right now, yet she only reserved for 4 people?
The reason why she did that is because from the very beginning, she's planning on enjoying the resort with you and only the grandkids. I have driven us all the way out here and we're only another hour or so from the resort. But now she's telling me to walk myself all the way back home.
Are you kidding me?
You're so close to the resort now and currently at a rest stop. Which isn't the easiest place to walk back home from. I didn't think I'd have to deal with her bullying me like this just yet, and was hoping we could all make it to our destination first.
Guess we have no choice now with her. Did she even have a clue that once I found out about this, along with the kids, we'd all be on your side and want you to come along?
I wonder if she even thought that far ahead.
I doubt she did, and that's why she told you to pretty much screw off and find your own way back home. Wait a sec. There isn't anyone else that can drive the car, right?
Right? When your mom just had told me to go home, I was thinking in my head that I'm only the one who can drive the car. I kind of wanted to ask who would be driving instead of me, but she beat me to that question and gave me an answer. She thinks you're driving. So I just went along with that answer and didn't really say much else.
Unfortunately, this isn't a joke, because who would actually be able to drive us the rest of the way to that resort now?
Well, you, right?
No way, no how. I told you this isn't a joke. My license was taken away from me, just like my mom's, and so there's no way I'm risking getting behind that wheel.
That's exactly right. But I think your mom forgot all about when that happened to you. Which is strange, because that didn't happen too long ago.
Now that you mention it, though, she was talking to her neighbors a couple of weeks ago when I was at her place, and she was telling them about how I'd be driving. I thought she just had things backwards and meant to say to them that you'd be driving, but...
Well, had she remembered that you can't drive right now, she probably would have had me drive us all the way there, and then told me to leave once you guys got checked in.
That is very true, sadly.
You are still over by the playground eating and taking a break on that bench, right? I'm going to come over there right now. Can you call the kids over so that the 4 of us can talk about what should we be doing now?
Sounds good. See you in a sec.
Bree, you come back here right now.
What do you want now?
I'm telling you to come back here right now, and I don't want any questions. And while you're on your way back here, you text your husband and tell him that it is not a problem for you to drive us the rest of the way.
I'm sorry, but that's not happening.
Why come? Just turn around and come back here and everything will be fine.
There was a bus leaving the rest stop that I hopped on, and it will be taking me all the way back home.
What? A bus?
It's technically illegal to be walking on the side of the interstate due to the high levels of danger that come with it. And so, buses are usually running on them for a long-distance trip like these. I don't want to be questioned by the police and have to pay a fine for walking out there, so I paid a little extra for the bus ticket.
I don't care about any of that, though. Right now, there is nobody here who can drive this car. I told Patrick that I forced you to go home, so he'd be the one having to drive us the rest of the way. And that's when he turned to me and said he cannot drive. I was totally thinking that he had a driver's license and would be able to take us all. I don't have my license either anymore, so you are the only one who can drive out of the three of us that can drive now.
Don't worry, because Patrick and the kids are on this bus with me.
What?
They came back to get all their things out of the car, and that's when you were able to talk with them again about me. But after that, he took the kids and went on one last bathroom break, right? Well, they actually used that chance to get on this bus with me before it took off.
Then all four of you come back here right now. I am telling you that you are allowed to come back here and drive us now, so there's no reason for you to still be riding that bus back home.
But the thing is, we are currently on the interstate and going 75 miles per hour.
Huh?
We have already gone about 15 miles now, so there's no way we can get off until the next stop, and that's maybe another 30 miles away?
You all hold it right there. What about the car? You know that I can't be the one to drive it.
I know that. And as a side note, I currently have the key to the car with me. Don't worry about a thing.
How am I not supposed to be worried about any of this?
The car can stay there as long as we need it to, so we'll be back for it soon. You just have to wait there another 30 minutes or so, and a bus will come take you to the rest of the way to that resort. So please, enjoy your trip there with the rest of those guests on the bus.
Huh?
Also, if you have anything else you'd like to say, please talk with your son about it because I'm going to take a nap here. Goodbye now.
Hey, Patrick, what the hell is going on here?
So it appears that Uncle Ray and the crew have arrived to pick you up?
Huh? So you knew about what's all been going on here?
Well, I've heard quite a bit about it. And just to let you know this now, even though it's totally unrelated, I'm going overseas for a while to work.
What?
I'll be over there for 2 to 3 years, so I'll be bringing the kids and Bree along with me to find a house over there. And today is the day we move out of the house and fly out.
What did you just say? I never heard anything about all of this from you before.
The plan was to talk with you about all of this in the lobby of the resort once we had arrived there.
Huh? At the resort?
And the whole reason that Uncle Ray is there picking you up now is because the original plan was to have him come out to the resort to see us. But, Mom, you went and made reservations for only 4 people on purpose, with the intent of leaving Bree behind, right? You went and told Bree all about that when we had parked at the rest area, and said that she was not going to be able to stay with us. And then you told her to walk home all by herself because we'd be taking the car. You used the guise of a very fun family vacation to an all-inclusive resort to harass my wife by sending her away just before we made it to the resort. Did you think that I wouldn't be upset about something like that when I found out?
About that. Every year I try and ask for us to go to a place that I want to go to, but Bree always picks on me by saying that it's not my choice and lets her kids decide.
Did you know that it's me who has been suggesting no to all your suggestions?
Huh?
I know that all you're going to do when you get to the trip you want is complain about how it'll be better without Bree, like you've always done when we go on trips. That's why I told her to leave the plans up to what the kids want to do, because they will choose to go to places that you can't keep up with us at, like amusement parks and hiking adventures.
How dare you do that to me?
And how dare you pick on my wife all the time like that?
I am not bullying her. I'm disciplining her.
If this was all taking place within the company, you would be sent to HR for harassing another employee by forcing them to have to walk 170 miles back home.
What?
Anyhow, we have a flight tonight out of this country.
You hold it right there. If you all leave, then what am I going to do? Your father is already long gone now, and without you and the grandkids, then I'll be all by myself.
And that's the exact reason why I asked Uncle Ray to come out and see you.
What?
We planned to leave you at that resort after telling you about us moving, and so I wanted him there to stay with you in our place. Now, if you have anything to complain about, you can talk with your brother about it.
Patrick!
With that, it's time to say goodbye.
Wait! Patrick!
Uncle Ray, the man that my husband and I got help from, happens to be Holly's older brother. As for what happened at a rest stop when we left Holly in our car we made sure to tell Uncle Ray that the car is his now. So we gave him the spare keys to it before we even started driving out to the resort. So that car is in his hands now. After their stay at the resort, Holly and Uncle Ray both went back to his house where Holly would be staying from now on. And in an attempt to run away, Holly took the keys to our car from his house and started it up. She was able to get out onto the street, but as she approached the first stop sign, she mixed up the brake pedal and the gas pedal and accelerated right into the back of a truck. She only sustained minor injuries that wouldn't cause her much trouble, and she was sent back home from the hospital that same day. But since that car belonged to Uncle Ray now, he was not happy with her at all for destroying it and forced her to pay him for the car since it was completely totaled. This was her first year of getting Social Security too, so all of that went right into Uncle Ray's pocket. She now has to start working part-time in order to get any money to support herself, and she can say goodbye to having a laid-back and relaxing life in her old age. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story. Goodbye!
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Mother.
Hey, sis. It's been a while. How've you been?
Hey, Erica. Didn't expect to hear from you. What's up?
Just want to let you know I'm getting married pretty soon.
Seriously? Who's the lucky, or maybe I should say unlucky guy?
You remember Paul? I introduced him to you some time back.
Yeah, that Paul. Your boyfriend from way back. That Paul?
Yeah, that very same Paul. The one I dated in high school.
You're not serious? Do you really want to get married to that guy?
How could you say that? Paul's not the old high school boy you knew back then. He's the president of a major IT firm now.
You're kidding, right? That brainbox Paul, a president? Give me a break. How could you marry that alpha geek?
Would you stop calling him a geek? He's way different now.
I can't help it. He was always such a weenie. Cheap clothes, real bad taste.
That's all just superficial.
You say he's a president of an IT company? And maybe he should dress a little better, play the part. You know what I mean. He should at least wear a suit to the office. The guy looks like some freelance at a mom-and-pop store.
I don't know where you get your information, Carol. If you had checked it out in detail, you'll know that his company is full remote. There is no traditional office. Nobody commutes, so all employees dress as they please. Anyway, Paul was never concerned about fashion. As long as he's healthy and squeaky clean, who's to complain? Besides, Paul is someone who is respected and admired.
Come on, Erica. Don't make me laugh. Compared to him, take a look at my hubby. He works at a major corporation with annual income of over $150,000. Now that's something to be respected and admired. For good measure, he's super handsome and buys me anything I want.
Do you always have to make comparisons? It's really annoying. For you, your husband is probably the best in the world, and for me, Paul is number one, but...
Yeah, you'd say he's your number one, but you really didn't have any other options, right? Besides, compared to me, I'm more of a woman than you. No guy would give you a second look, so you had no other choice but to pick this geek. I feel sorry for your little sister.
You got it all wrong, Carol. I'm marrying him because I love him. Always have, ever since high school.
Do you really love this guy? Sounds more like he talked you into it. Programmed you as if you were a computer. I pity you, Erica. To be duped into marrying this tech guru or whatever you think he is.
No need to pity me. I'm very happy just being around him.
Sounds like you're already landed in Glumsville. Open your eyes, Erica, before it's too late.
You really never change, sis. You never take the time to see my side of the story, or show any concern for how I feel.
It's just that I can't wrap my head around why you would marry some freelancer.
Like I keep saying, he's not a freelancer. He's the president of an IT company. Anyway, once we set the date for the wedding, I'll let you know. See ya.
Are you really going through with this, Erica? Really hooking up with that teleworker?
Are you still harping on about that? It's our wedding day. Can't you be a little more respectful?
That's exactly why I'm saying this now. I can't believe you're really going to tie the knot with that Poindexter.
How many times do I have to keep repeating myself? He's the president of an IT firm. A lot of people admire him. Many of them are here today.
No use trying to sugarcoat this whole mess of a wedding. The guy can't even buy proper clothes. Just your sorry-ass teleworker, freelancer, whatever you want to call him. Just not IT president. As a relative, this is really embarrassing. I just wish you would just put the kibosh on it.
Paul just isn't the type to waste money on clothes, and he has zero interest in brands. How many times do I have to keep repeating myself? Some people have money but opt not to use it on such frivolous things. Can't you get that through your head?
All you're doing is trying to convince yourself that you're making the right decision by candy coating everything to suit your agenda. I bet in reality you're in debt, worried about what the future holds, on the verge of tears. Am I right?
Oh, wait, back up. What's this about debt? I don't have any debt. We paid for the whole wedding in cash, and we already picked out our new home.
Then why are you guys having the wedding at this shoddy wedding hall? If he's this super-duper IT president that's admired by all, he would arrange for a real elaborate wedding, like at the Hilton downtown. What it all boils down to is that he could only afford to have it here at this ritzy little wedding venue.
We checked a lot of places out, but in the end we picked this place because it was serene and beautiful. A friend of ours had a wedding here a few years ago, and we fell in love with it. That's why we decided on this place.
Such a nice little story.
Please, stop with the sarcasm, would you? I also hear that your husband was saying the same thing to Paul the other day. What's with you guys? Can't you accept how other people live? You've been acting this way all month. And then on the day of the wedding, you up the ante and start trash-talking us. That we're in debt, and that he's a no-good teleworker. I'm sick of it, to be honest.
What I'm trying to tell you is for your own good. Nothing good will come of marrying a freelancer.
Not that again. I'm sick of repeating myself. I gave you his business card, didn't I? His name's on it, the company name, everything, and you're still unconvinced. Has your brain been scrambled? It is kind of hot today.
Anybody can print up business cards, and besides, I never even heard of that company.
I just got to the wedding hall. Have to cut this short. Talk to you later. Could you at least keep your mouth shut during the wedding? Blab all you want once it's over, but please, cut the cackle until it's over. You can do that, right?
Hey, Erica, maybe it would be better if you canceled the wedding.
Say again? The wedding starts in 10 minutes. What are you up to now? Everyone's all seated now, expecting the whole thing to start.
I already announced to everyone that you're marrying a penniless freelancer geek, and that this wedding is drenched in debt. I warned them that they'll come crying to everyone afterwards for handouts, so better to skip this little celebration.
Hold it 1 second, Carol.
I did it for your own good, Erica. I know you'll live to regret it, and plus, it's a total disgrace for the entire family. If I didn't warn them and put a stop to this, I figured you wouldn't wake up from this happy valley you seem to be stuck in. The wedding starts in 5 minutes. I won't be attending, by the way. I don't want to contribute money to paying off your debts.
Is that so? All right, I'll have you and your husband's seats removed.
I'll let you in on a little secret. We're actually right outside the wedding hall right now. We just had to witness all those guests pouring out of the hall. It's gonna be one for the books. Whoever had a wedding with 0 guests. I warned you plenty, Erica. See ya. Erica, are you seeing this? I never expect this to happen. What am I going to do?
Yeah, I heard you really pissed off one of Paul's major clients, the president of Apex Incorporated. Your husband works there, doesn't he? You guys came rushing into the chapel right in the midst of our wedding vows. I can't remember the last time I was so embarrassed.
Could you talk to him? Tell him it was just a simple misunderstanding?
I can't do that. You guys dug your own grave. You guys were totally out of line with him and getting kicked out of the wedding hall, trying to ruin our wedding. A self-inflicted death spiral if there ever was one. You really expect me to dig you guys out? You're barking up the wrong tree.
But please, I need your help here, Erica. Please. If you don't help me, my husband's position at the company will be in jeopardy. He may even get fired. Apex Incorporated means everything to us. He was on course to become the next project manager. His entire career is at risk. This whole mess will turn our life upside down.
Like I said, you guys signed your own death warrant. There's nothing I can do about it.
There's plenty you can do. You're my little sister. You have an obligation to help me. As family, we are honor-bound to help each other.
Wait, what? Did you just use the word family? Do you really consider me family? You've always treated me with disdain, always berating me, calling Paul a freelancer, debt-ridden, and you try to ruin our wedding. And now you come crying to me for help because we're family? Spare me.
Please, don't say that. I consider us family. I was only trying to help you.
Trying to help me? Really?
That's right. We did all that because we were concerned for your future. But I never expected the president of Apex Incorporated to be there. How does Paul even know the guy, for Pete's sake?
By the way, what did you even say to the president?
Well, it was...
Come on, tell me. What was it that pissed him off so much?
It was about... I was only trying to...
That bad, huh? That you can't even tell me.
I just told him Paul was a freelancer, a teleworker. Apparently he arrived late, and so I saw him at the entrance and stopped him. I warned him not to attend the wedding, that Paul was a mere freelance worker, that he was heavily in debt.
Why the hell did you tell him that?
But I was trying to...
How many times have I told you that Paul is the president of an IT company?
I thought all that was BS.
I showed you his business card, had the company name on it, and you still didn't believe me.
He just laughed it off, so I accused him of being in the same league as Paul, and that he must be a freelancer geek like him. That seemed to piss him off. That's when my husband came out of the bathroom and saw the president of Apex Incorporated standing there, red-faced. My husband was speechless, as you can imagine. He immediately reprimanded me for angering the president of his company.
And then what happened?
My husband got down on his hands and knees to apologize, saying it was all a mistake. He pulled me down and forced me to beg for his forgiveness.
And what happened next?
He then turned to us and demanded that we apologize to you and Paul.
And then?
We were going to apologize and burst into the chapel, and that's when we got kicked out.
Who wouldn't kick you guys out? Barging in like that? Stumbling over the pews? What a total mess you guys made! Why couldn't you just wait until the ceremony was over or after the reception? Why then and there? I can't comprehend your actions.
Could you please put in a good word? Please?
I suggest you figure it out yourself.
How are we supposed to figure it out ourselves? He said he didn't even want to see our faces anymore. Only way to contact them is at the office. We never got his personal info.
Your husband works there. Go through the proper channels, make an appointment for a meeting. Just don't drag up into a mess.
Like I keep saying, you're my sister, for God's sake. Have a little compassion. We're family, we need to stick together. We're duty-bound as family to help each other when in need.
Alright, if that's your thinking, let me ask you this. When was the last time you helped me when I was in need?
There were plenty of instances.
Really? Okay, name one. And I want the details.
There was the time,
Can't remember, huh? You've always been like that. If you didn't get your way, you got all mopey and ill-tempered. But whenever I was in dire circumstances, you just sat back and snickered as if you were enjoying yourself.
That's not true at all. I'll be sure to help you the next time you're in trouble.
I think I'm officially getting dizzy. Let's cut this short. Goodbye.
Excuse me? What? You can't cut me off. We're not finished. Erica, you can't leave me hanging.
Growing up, my folks were always so busy. They left us to my grandma. She was the one who brought us up. After she passed, my folks just provided monetary support, never really interfered in our personal affairs. We were basically left on our own. That is, when things got tricky, there was no adult supervision. Either we keep things in check or do whatever we wanted. My sister seemed to have picked the latter. Maybe that's why she ended up being such a malicious woman. But then she married a like-minded guy. A double whammy if there ever was one. But these two eventually got divorced. Apparently, that incident was the talk of the office for months afterwards. It was apparently hard for him to remain at the company, and as a result, he eventually retired. He blamed my sister for it all, of course. These people always find a victim. They themselves are never in the wrong. My sister had been a housewife all these years and never really gained any useful skills. So, what did she do? She began trying to seduce my husband, Paul. My father finally had enough of her nonsense and dumped her in some institution. I'm not sure what kind of institution, and I don't want to know. That was the last I heard from her, and I hope it's the last.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Maya, can you talk? I need to ask you something.
You need to ask me something? Me? What's gotten into you?
Why? Why can't I ask you something? A mother wants to ask her daughter something sometimes.
Maybe if we were a normal family, but I don't remember you ever treating me like I was your daughter. You've only ever liked beautiful Rebecca, always spoiling her. You never took care of me and kicked me out as soon as I graduated high school. Why wouldn't I be apprehensive when all of a sudden you tell me you want to ask me something? And especially when you want to talk the day after I introduce my fiancé to you guys. What are you planning?
You've always had such an ugly personality. Fine, I'll be direct. You need to let your younger sister marry your fiancé.
What?
Yesterday, you came by the house to introduce us to your fiancé, yes? His name was Ryan, I think. It was love at first sight for Rebecca. She's saying that she's going to marry Ryan. So you need to break off your engagement. You're the older sister, so you need to let your younger sister have him.
What? What are you saying? I need to let her have him? Ryan's not a toy. He's not an object I can just give to someone else. Are you crazy?
But Rebecca says she wants Ryan. Your father and I think that rather than Rebecca marrying someone we don't know, that we would feel much better if she married someone we know is marriage material.
That's not the issue here. Don't be ridiculous. Why do you want to take everything away from me? Like my toys and clothes and even my birthday presents. Rebecca has always been given all of my belongings, and I've been told to just deal with it. Now you want me to give her my fiancé? I've had enough of this. Ryan is my fiancé. I'm not giving him to Rebecca.
What are you getting all upset about? He's still marrying someone in our family. And rather than marrying you, whose face and personality are average and boring, I'm sure he'd want to marry your younger sister, who's smart and beautiful and caring.
Do you have no regard for other people's feelings?
I hear what you're saying, but it's already been decided. Your relatives and I got together last night and talked about it. And we decided that you and Ryan would be breaking off your engagement and Ryan would be marrying Rebecca. He'll be taking our last name and you'll be marrying your cousin Evan instead.
What? Why are you deciding who I'll be marrying? Can you not try to control who I'm marrying? And isn't my cousin Evan that 50-year-old who quit his job and is a deadbeat now? Telling me to marry him is the same as telling me that I need to be his caretaker and provide for him financially. No, that is not going to happen.
Come on, don't be selfish. It's already been decided. So just stop fighting it and let Rebecca have Ryan. And you marry Evan instead.
Who's really being selfish here? You really think you can tell me all this and I would say, okay, mother, I will never give you Ryan.
Do you really think it's okay for you to talk to me like this? I think you'll regret acting this way.
What? What are you saying?
You just wait. I will make sure the two of you break up.
Hello? Is this Maya's mother, Sharon? This is Maya's fiancé, Ryan. I'm texting you from Maya's phone.
Oh, hello. Is this Ryan? Thank you so much for reaching out. Have you decided to marry Rebecca?
Please cut the crap. I have no intentions of ever breaking up with Maya. Nor do I have any plans of marrying Rebecca.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe you're saying this. Rebecca is so much kinder than Maya. You know, you'll be so much happier if you marry Rebecca, right?
Please don't think you know what makes me happy. Who do you think you are? And personally, I think that Maya is so much more attractive than Rebecca. Rebecca is so vulgar and impolite. She can't even begin to compare to Maya.
What are you talking about? If you would just meet Rebecca, I know you'll see how wonderful she is.
I can see we're getting nowhere with this. So let me be direct. The reason I'm texting you from Maya's phone today is to talk to you about you and your family prank calling Maya.
Prank calling? What are you talking about?
Playing dumb won't get you out of this. I know that you and your relatives have been calling Maya Sal and her work over and over, and saying quit your job or break off your engagement. And some days you've been calling over 100 times. And you've gratified Maya's apartment with the same message and thrown raw eggs at her apartment. You've also been stalking me. Rebecca's been sending me lewd photos with messages telling me how great she is. I want to talk to you today about all this.
We would never prank call or stalk anyone. All we're doing is showing Maya how selfish she's being, because she won't give you to Rebecca. So, I'm having all of my relatives help. And the pictures of Rebecca we sent you was just because we want you to get to know Rebecca better. And now that you know how beautiful she is, I know you'll change your mind.
Actually, it creeped me out so much I hate her even though I've never talked to her. Everything you've done and are doing is extremely troublesome. Do you have any intentions of stopping?
Of course we won't stop. We'll keep doing it until you marry Rebecca and Maya marries her cousin. I need to teach Maya that she can't be selfish.
I see. Okay, then we'll be suing all of you.
What?
You and your relatives have been calling Maya over 100 times, telling her to break up with her fiancé, and leaving the same message in her mailbox, and writing it on her door in permanent marker, and pounding on her doors and walls and throwing raw eggs at her apartment. All of this has caused Maya great emotional distress. So we'll be seeing you in court.
What? Court? Just for calling someone?
Because of you and your relatives, Maya's been hurt deeply. This isn't about just making some phone calls and about your graffiti. That's property damage. So her landlord has filed a victim report.
A victim report? He went to the police?
Of course he did. Even though he wrote on Maya's apartment, the landlord is the one who owns that apartment. Throwing raw eggs and writing on someone else's property is property damage through and through. We have security camera footage of you writing on her door, so you can't talk your way out of this one.
What?
And you and your relatives all called Maya's place of work. You told him to fire Maya and spread bad rumors about her. There are hundreds of prank calls and silent calls. This is an obstruction of business. So we'll be suing you for that too. And about you stalking me and ambushing me and sending me lewd photos and letters, I'll be suing you for stalking me.
Just wait a second. I can't believe you're trying to make all these charges against me. Are you planning on making your new fiancé a criminal?
Who are you referring to when you say new fiancé? My fiancé is and has always been Maya. I have nothing to do with a stalker named Rebecca.
What? Are you calling Rebecca a stalker?
Isn't that what she is? Sending me disgusting photos? And you said that this is a family problem. But what you did is still a crime. And you can be sued for it. Depending on what Maya wants, we can also have you detained.
Detained? I'm going to be arrested? We're going to be arrested?
Yes. About the property damage and obstruction of business, the victim in those cases isn't Maya but is her landlord and her company. So it falls outside of the scope of family problems. Her place of business and her landlord have no relation to you. You all may have thought that you were attacking Maya, but the victims are actually complete strangers.
No, that may be, but...
You're stalking me is the same. I still haven't legally married Maya, so we're complete strangers. I will be in charge of proceeding with the matters I've discussed with you today. You'll be served soon.
What? Wait a second. What do you mean you'll be in charge? What do you mean?
It's quite simple. I'm a lawyer.
What? A lawyer?
Yes, I represent Maya's company. And I've been hired by Maya and her landlord as well. I will be in charge of suing all of you. I'll be contacting you about all the charges formally tomorrow, so please stand by for that.
Wait, please wait, you have it all wrong. I don't have anything to do with this.
What do you mean you have nothing to do with this? You're the main perpetrator here.
I only did the things I did because I was ordered to. It was my husband's brother and his wife that said we should prank call Maya and her company. They said they wanted Maya to quit her job so she could take care of their son, Evan. My sister-in-law and all my other relatives were so keen on this plan, I couldn't go against them. All I did was make 1 or 2 calls like I was ordered to. I haven't done anything else. And it was Rebecca who sent you all those photos of herself. And it was my husband who wanted Rebecca to marry you in the first place. I didn't do any of this. So I have nothing to do with this.
You say you only made 1 or 2 calls, but about 25% of the calls made to Maya and her company were from you. How do you plan on explaining that?
Huh? How do you know that?
You want to know how I know that? Because as soon as Maya realized she was receiving prank calls from you, she recorded every phone call and wrote down who called at what time. So don't think you can lie your way out of this.
You have it all wrong. I only did this so everyone could be happy.
It's obvious Maya is not included in everyone. You're all awful people.
But, if we're convicted, it'll be bad for Maya. Are you okay with Maya being called a criminal's daughter?
I've already received Maya's go-ahead with all of this. She doesn't care what people around her think. And if anyone does, she can just tell them the whole story. We'll make sure they know that Maya did nothing wrong, so please don't worry. The only people going to hell will be you guys.
I can't believe this.
Next time I'll be speaking to you, it'll be in court. I'll make sure you all pay for this.
A few days later, Ryan sued my mom and all of my relatives who were involved. Because of all the evidence, we won our case easily. We sent my parents, my younger sister, my cousins, and his parents to jail. And my other 8 relatives were put on probation and had to pay a settlement. Now that my family and relatives have a record, everyone talked about them behind their backs. And they divorced each other, or moved far away, and are all living apart now. I guess it can't be helped since they did it all to make their precious daughter happy. For a while, this all had me really down. But after we won the trial, I started to slowly recover, and now I'm completely better. I married Ryan 1 year later, and we're really happy together.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.